What is going on, YouTube? Let's find a different color, I guess. Hey, that looks cool enough. How you guys doing? Iowa Retro Gamer Dad here. I just wanted to talk today about something that's been going on that's not, I guess, not much of a mystery, but we're just going to talk about some points of it, and I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. But as a lot of you know, a lot of people are selling their collections. And if not selling their collections completely, video game collections anyways, they're selling a good portions of it and really just trying to buckle down, purge what they can and keep what they want, and then, you know, honestly make some good money off of it. But the video today, I want to talk about why is everybody selling off their physical video games collection. And we're just going to get right into it. So I've got a little list off to the side here that I'm using for reference. If you see me kind of peeking off, it's to kind of just remember what the heck my talking points were. So let's just start off right out the gate with one of the major ones. Video games, retro games in general, are at an all-time high for selling. They're still going, guys. They're still going up in price. A lot of people, even if you bought a couple years ago, you're still able to make a profit off of them. Obviously, some games themselves are not, you know, increased in a lot. But if you guys are not familiar with pricecharting.com, you guys can go to that website, search for whatever video game you have, and kind of get a general guideline, loose, complete, just a box, just a manual or whatever, of what stuff's going for. And you can see in this nice little handy-dandy trend of what these prices are doing. I usually like to do this in a lot of my other videos so you guys can get a general idea of how the pricing is going in the market. But today we're just doing a little bit of me jabbering like usual. But like I said, games are kind of at an all-time high right now. Certain consoles are obviously better. I believe that GameCube and stuff like that is still ridiculously high. But you have some consoles, I think it's like Nintendo 64, and some of the other ones are actually kind of starting to go down in price, which is kind of nice to see. But, you know, resellers are loving this, obviously. They are able to go around and find games dirt cheap sometimes in certain locations. But with the good old World Wide Web, we are seeing that people are easily able to see what stuff is worth nowadays. And for collectors and stuff like that, it's not a good time, as a lot of us know. But one of the main reasons I think that a lot of people are selling their physical video game collections right now is obviously because the price is just too good to be true. I mean, they say everybody's got their price. I think right now is a good one for it. My next point is the hype from the COVID and quarantine is finally ending. Obviously, back when COVID hit, people were stuck in their homes and digging through their closets. They were trying to find stuff to get their attention. And what better way than to pull out that old Nintendo 64, get some GoldenEye going, play some Mario 64, or even the old Super Mario World on your Super Nintendo. Everybody was pulling out all their old stuff, enjoying the games, loving them, and buying more and more of them. So what's this do? Well, that obviously influenced the market, drove the prices up, and we were seeing everything go up. So now I think that once the hype is over with, people are finally kind of like, I mean, obviously it's been a few years since COVID's even been really extremely relevant. People still talk about it and stuff nowadays, but it's not feared as much. But I think that now that it's kind of getting over with, people are just kind of not into retro game scenes anymore or collecting the video games. They're over the older stuff especially, and everybody's moving modern, especially with the new like PS5 Pros coming out, and you know, all the hoo-ha with that. I think a lot of people are just getting tired of their physical game collections now, so they're just deciding to get rid of it. I think that's a good hype. Let me know in the comments below if you were one of those people like me that, well, I was collecting before the hype, but obviously when you're stuck in your house, you're messing on your phone and stuff like that, and if you like to buy stuff, you're doing it a lot like I was. My next talking point, major life events. So obvious ones, we don't have to talk too much about this because everybody knows about this. You know, a lot of people are selling off their collections because they're having a kid. A big bill came out of nowhere. They had to get their car fixed or get a new car in general. They're trying to buy a house. Now, I watched a lot of Retro Rick's Game Point, and in the past, I think one of the videos was a guy was trying to buy a house. So he was selling a bunch of his collection to try and get money to be able to do so. So we all know that's going on. Some people won't be, very open about what is going on, especially if it's got stuff to do with health issues or credit card debt. But a lot of people are kind of selling their stuff off because of major life events. Another one. Digital-only consoles or easy access to ROMs and emulations. Everybody and a dog nowadays can download ROMs and emulation. And in fact, most stuff is plug and play, easy to access today. I was able to get a RetroPie set up from like a 15-minute YouTube video after buying the parts, putting it together, and then I was able to talk to people and get a SD card set up. So now I have a little mini console that is basically set up for plug and play with thousands of games on it. And then on top of that, just computer in general, people telling me that with my Series X I can get it, do something with developer mode, and just really kind of jump into altering stuff and making it an emulation system. And just in general, all the different options for stuff going on. And like I said, digital-only consoles are a huge thing. People are nowadays just like, well, I don't need to have these games sitting around anymore. I can just download them to my hard drive. So they don't buy physical games as much. Or the physical games that they did have, they're just like, well, I'm not playing it on this console anymore. I'm trying to think. A while back, I think it was one of the Dark Souls games, I had got it dirt cheap on my console digitally on a sale as part of a sale going on. And then on top of that, I bought the game physically really cheap from something else. And then I was kind of like, well, I have the digital version of this associated with my account now, and I don't plan on playing it soon. So when I went and purged a bunch of games, it got thrown in the pile. So that's kind of a huge thing right now with digital-only consoles and easy access to ROMs. Another one. This one's kind of a popular one. You just ran out of room. I remember last few years, before the flood happened and stuff like that in the basement, the water backed up and everything, that I was full. Everybody knows my channel knows how I have a huge room that my wife has allowed me to have in the basement that was dedicated to my collection. It was dedicated to everything down here. And I was starting to run out of space. And I've always said in the past, nothing against these people, but I do not want my collection to sit in totes or sit in boxes, stuffed away in closets, unless it's like cords and stuff for my consoles and everything, extra controllers. But I do not want my collection itself to be sitting in a box somewhere. So I was starting to get like, okay, you guys, I either need to invest in a buttload more shelves, or I need to figure out something else because I am just running out of room. Well, then I started doing these videos and talking about, collecting addiction and everything, and soon found out that, I just have too many games to begin with. And I sold off a large part of my physical collection, and now my game room itself is not so stuffy. It's not so bombarded with crap. I feel a lot better in here, which is a huge deal for me now. But I think a lot of I see these comments all the time. Some of my subscribers, my friends and everything, I can't get that big a collection because I live in a small apartment. Or, I don't have a big enough that big a collection because I don't have any room in my house for it. I have kids, I have stuff going on, or I have just too small a house, or, just stuff like that in general. So it's not just even having too much stuff for a big room, but in general, just having too much stuff for a studio apartment, or, just not having enough room in general. That's a big reason why I think a lot of people sold off their collection. And lastly, this is a huge one. People are just tired of the hobby, or they lost the passion for it. So I've talked in the past about how one day I just kind of was like, okay, I'm not having fun doing this anymore. I'm not having fun buying games and collecting games. Yeah, I love the I love having the the end result, having the shelves full, walking down here and feeling like a dragon from the fantasy times, sleeping in this pile of gold. But I stopped feeling the enjoyment for it. I stopped feeling the enjoyment for, the games sitting over there, all the consoles and stuff like that. So yes, I do have a large collection of, random assortments behind me. I have my private collection over here above my TV that's got most of the games that I plan on just keeping, and my backlog. But other than that, I just kind of lost some of the passion for the hobby. I got tired of it. And I notice nowadays that I see people doing the YouTube pickup videos, doing all these stuff and buying games for their collections. And I kind of see, I don't like to say it, and I usually don't say it, but I see them starting to become the way that I was, where I felt that like I had to buy the games now, like I was obligated to buy it, because this was the way people have seen me on YouTube. This is the way everything was going, so I felt like I had to get this stuff. And it's sad to see, but sometimes it just takes that. Someday it just clicks for people. And I've seen a lot of people comment on my videos saying, thank you for doing these videos, because it made me finally see what was wrong. Why was I feeling the way I was feeling? Why am I struggling? And now I feel so much better because I know what's wrong. I'm just tired of the hobby. Now, does that mean you need to get out and sell everything because you're tired of it? No. You might just need to take a break. But if you feel like completely drained and lost the passion for it, maybe it's time to get rid of a little bit of it. The stuff that you don't care about, the fillers and everything like that. I get comments all the time that I could never sell any of this. This is my life and stuff like that. And to be honest, if it's kind of your, not to sound mean, I don't want to sound mean and I don't want to hurt your feelings, but if this is your life and you're so that connected to every single one of it, you might need to reevaluate what's kind of going on. Now, obviously, I'm not a doctor. I don't have any degree in that kind of section. But I can talk to you from my own experiences in the past, and if your whole life revolves around just collecting and stuff like that, then you might need to reevaluate some of your priorities. But it should be fun. If you lost, that's the key. It should be fun. If you've lost the funness, if you're not happy about it anymore, then that's a big indication right there that you either need to dip out of the hobby, or you need to take a break, or you need to actually sit there and play those damn games instead of just putting them up and collecting them. So thank you guys so much for watching. I just kind of wanted to do this video to talk about, we talk so much about collection stuff on here. We talk so much about, some of the fake stuff that goes around and everything like this. And I love doing these videos because it allows me to get real with you guys. But I've been asked in comments and DMs, why do I think that everybody is selling their collection? And these are a lot of the key points that I think. Now, if I've obviously missed something, I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Why do you think a lot of people are selling off their collections right now? And I think, like I said, I just think one of the big things is people are just getting tired of the hobby, and the prices are just too good right now. You can sell your stuff, get a decent amount of money. I know lately I've been, and I know I don't like to talk too much about this stuff because it's just a whole nother subject, but me and a few buddies have been starting to get into crypto investing, and it's kind of nice to sell some stuff and then use that money to invest in my future, even though, it is a gamble, but it's a gamble. In all generality, we are investing in retro games. At one point, that's kind of an investment too, because you can make money down the road, which could be a gamble too, because we might see it crash at some point. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay retro, my friends, and we'll see you in the next video. If you guys have not, make sure you go down to the description below and check out my secondary channel called Iowa Gamer Dad Side Quest. It's basically another channel where I do some videos similar to this, but shorter, not necessarily longer form ones, and just kind of quick conversation pieces. But we also dive more into modern gaming instead of more retro game stuff like this one. So, see you later.